Diamond in the back, sunroof top, digging the scene with the gangster lean. Ooh, ooh, ooh. That's like my favorite song in the whole world. Ain't no have Steppin, Marcus, Jay. We back, y'all. Thank y'all for staying with us through that break. Call us at 804-402-2893. You know I gotta play that song on the show at least every once in the blue moon.
You know American Idol is coming to Richmond.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm too old for that.
You don't have to prove that, brother man.
I'm going up there.
Nah, please. You gonna be up there like
you could take anybody's birth certificate.
Nah, man.
You are 23.
Well, yeah, I suppose. I mean, 28 is the median age that people think that I am when they ask me.
Look, I'm going up there and saying, "Hey, I'm part of Legacy Internet Radio."
We're gonna need you to not go to American Idol.
We're gonna need you to just stay off any camera.
Yeah, don't.
As a matter of fact, does his mic work really?
Yeah, it's on.
I'm taking the camera. I'm gonna get up there, Legacy Internet Radio. Hey, at it, American Idol. We're gonna have fun, and I'm gonna audition too.
Yeah, we're not gonna do that.
My feet itch.
We can do like X Factor because we're all old. Actually, they got canceled, so never mind on X Factor.
I think that we should. Hey. Who watches Big Brother?
Just you.
Sometimes.
That's what we should be on.
Yeah, I ain't going.
Big Brother.
I ain't going with Big Brother. But I tell you what, I have been watching a lot lately.
And it is not just me.
Yeah, it's just you. Like you and like maybe 7 million people that I don't know watch Big Brother. Like I don't care enough. I don't care enough because all Big Brother is like. Like Real World
is good. No, this is better than the Real World.
I tell you what I have been watching. Carlton Banks, when he was here last summer, he turned us on to a show called Naked and Afraid.
Yes.
I've been watching the hell out that joint lately. You know
what? Watch the little eraser spots.
For me, I don't even care about the naked thing. Like the naked thing to me is, because after like the first commercial, she's so nasty and dirty that it doesn't even matter. That's like no. But I tell you, there's 2 parts of Naked and Afraid that I like. There's 2 parts.
Yes.
The very first part is when they first meet.
When they meet up. Mm-hmm.
I like that because you can always tell when it's going to be a good relationship by how they greet each other. If you standing there and you butt ass naked and you act awkward and you shake your hand from across your body,
it's not good.
That's kind of whack to me. like it's usually the people who walk right up to each other butt ass naked and hug, and he's rubbing on her leg and she's rubbing on his chest.
It's those ones who are not ashamed.
And it's not even sexual. It's just hey, it's like, hey, how you doing? We're partners going to live together and be naked for the next 21 days. Let's not be awkward in the first moment. Those are usually the people, like seriously, those are the people who do well out there. And I am so fascinated because I like Survivor. I've always liked Survivor.
I've never watched that.
I love Survivor. I watched every season except for the very first season because the black girl throwing up on the boat in the first 5 minutes of Survivor turned me off so bad. I was like, I'm not watching this. And so I turned it off. But this Naked and Afraid thing, it's like watching Survivor with 2 people, but it is so much harder than Survivor than you can imagine. So anyway, I just want to put that out there and give props to my man Carlton Banks for turning us on to it. Ain't no hashtag with Marcus J. I know we getting some comments here in social media. Michelle K is shaking her head at you, Steven, which a lot of us do. She's also saying that she loves The Amazing Race. I've tried that, Michelle. I can't get into Amazing Race either.
Is that when there are like groups of them?
It's like it's usually a pair. It's usually a pair. It's usually a pair, and the pair is usually a pair of people that know. It might be father and daughter. It might be 2 friends.
Oh, okay.
Might be siblings, and they go on these grand around the world chases to find. It's a scavenger.
Hey Marcus, let me you go do Amazing Race.
Yeah, no.
Why, man? We smart.
We are, but I ain't going on no Amazing Race. I'm not a reality show type of dude. Like I'm a voyeur. I'll watch it.
Why don't we go on Family Feud?
I could do that.
Oh yes,
I could definitely do that.
I'm going to apply for it now.
But if we go on Family Feud, like I gotta be the dude that stands like in the back. I don't want to be like standing at the front.
This is your company.
In the back?
Like because it's 5 people and it's the first guy.
Oh, you don't want to be the first person. You want to be the last person.
Yeah, I'll be the last.
You're supposed to be the first person.
I know that everybody would want to say that.
So for us to get the $20,000, you're going first?
I absolutely would be one of the 2 people at the end.
And who's the other person? Who do you think the other person
inside the crew?
Yeah.
Inside the Legacy and that radio?
Put your hand down.
Steven's raising his hand. Nah, Steve.
It's not Steven, y'all.
Nah, I can't.
It is not you. No.
Or do you want me to have the buzzer and say the answers a year?
No, we want you to shh.
I don't know, man.
Who would it be?
You know what?
Grizzy?
I'd probably take the first lady. You know why? Because she thinks quick on her feet. So I'll probably take first lady. But if it wasn't,
So the first lady's gonna go first, and then you're gonna go second.
yeah. Well, I would make first lady go first. I would go first, make first lady go second, because if I go up there and I put up like 30 points, she gonna come out and just.
Do I get to be on the phone?
The thyroid eye.
She get the thyroid eye. She mess around and go up there and get 171. We get 201 points. We get the $20,000, and then she roll her eyes at me the rest of the night. Like
all the top answers.
Yeah, exactly.
On the first 5.
No.
I can't get on. I can't be part of the.
No, I'll put you in. You can be in the first 5.
Okay.
You can be in the first 5. Right. You can be in the first 5. You got to be in the first 5. It's
Why?
Mr. LP.
Then where am I gonna be?
You'll be up there too.
Okay, I want to be the first person up.
Let you be the head one.
Now we'll put Grizzy up there first. We'll put Grizzy in the spot.
God.
Yeah, we'll put Grizzy will be in the number 1 spot. We'll put him up there first.
Okay, as long as he knows, because I'll tell you what I hate about Family Feud.
I love that show, by the way.
I love Family Feud, but what irritates me is that if you guess the answer and then it's up to you, like, yeah, okay, you want to play or you want to pass it. And it's like 8 answers, and you got one quick answer. Off the top of your head, y'all can only get 4. Let the other family guess.
No, that's one thing. That strategy is never going to work for me. I will never pass.
Let the other family guess.
Ever going to pass. You got to trust your team, man.
You have a greater chance of them not getting it all, and you getting one of your
I got you,
answers
but
and taking
I ain't
the
going to lie.
points.
That's the arrogance of Marcus J right there. I would never pass.
Okay, we are not going to Family Feud, y'all.
Oh, come on. We can definitely do that. We'll do 5. So it's you, Marcus, comedian Alyssa P, Jay, and I.
How would you guys like this?
Here we go. Because she said it all seductive, like, so that Steven?
Yeah,
she was like, how would you like it?
Exactly.
How would you like it if I set up a mock Family Feud between us?
Oh, let me film it.
We videotape it.
How
and
awesome
it is
would
our
that be?
show.
How awesome would that be? Like we could do like a Legacy in that radio Family Feud. Like we could absolutely flesh that story. Then we could flesh that idea out.
I think that would be fun.
We could flesh that idea out in
5 minutes.
In Legacy Land?
and off the air, because I'm already intrigued by that. So Michelle K said that she could see the interaction between us and Steve Harvey. She's LOLing, so she would trip.
Yeah, he's gonna be dying laughing at some of the answers we come
find the
up.
answer in your book.
Yeah, Steven Sykes and Steve Harvey. I'm sure we find a way to make a joke out of 2 Stevens, and this one here would do the Steven laugh. Do the Steven laugh?
No.
Yeah, that the Jeffrey Holder laugh. And how to start remarks. All right, let's talk about stupid people. Y'all want to talk about some stupid people? I want to talk about stupid people.
Yes.
All right, let's talk about some stupid people.
How stupid are
I'm
they?
getting this from the so stupid that how about that? All right.
You're the first one.
Okay, there's your trivia question right there. What show is that? Well, damn it, you don't even know. And Mr. LP don't either. Oh my goodness. All right, well, we'll see.
My first time I'm thinking America's Home Family.
You ask a question, like the question. If we
Right.
talk about stupid people, how stupid are they?
Is that comedy show?
can't say it
stop
because it's a
talking.
guess.
It's for the other people.
Oh,
Steven?
I'm sorry. You had my mind on the question.
Y'all, he's our
Okay.
special child.
Damn, you was said, man. All right, let's talk about stupid people. Let's talk about
You
stupid
said
people.
that.
Let's talk about the stupid people in Washington D.C. I'm getting this from
Okay.
Gawker.com. The House Republicans. They are the stupid people who may have accidentally legalized marijuana in Washington D.C. In an effort to block D.C. from decriminalizing pot possession, a law it passed on its own back in March, House Republicans led by Maryland Rep. Andy Harris may have accidentally legalized it. Congress, as you may recall, has the D.C. government under its thumb and may intervene whenever it feels if the district does something it doesn't approve of. In this case, the city made possession of up to an ounce of pot punishable only by a $25 fine. And Harris amended a spending bill to forbid the city from spending money to, quote, enact or carry out any law, rule, regulation to legalize or otherwise reduce penalties associated with the possession, use, or distribution of marijuana or other drugs for recreational use. Now, Washington, D.C., they had a push to decriminalize pot with a new bill on Monday, with D.C. Mayor Vincent Gray signed a bill which decriminalize it. Now, there's a hole in the scheme, as laid out by the Washington Post, is that the pot law will likely go into effect sometime next month before the bill and its Senate companion have a chance to vote it in. And if Harris's amendment does pass, D.C. will be left with a law that decriminalizes pot with no money behind it to fund it going after the defenders.
Let's get smoking.
This is from the Post. But the officials familiar with the matter said the amendment could prevent the police department from printing citations, prevent cops from writing and possessing them, and prevent the city government from adjudicating them. The upshot is that there might be no penalty for minor marijuana possession. Pedro Ribeiro, is a spokesperson for the D.C. mayor, took the opportunity to jab at Congress for sticking its finger in district affairs, saying, quote, the potential unintended consequence only underscores why Congress should not meddle in local D.C. laws, end quote. So we'll leave it there. Mr. LP, jump in here first, my brother. What you got?
Well, basically, I'm not the one to favor smoking weed, but it makes me tempted just to smoke it and walk by a police officer and thank you. Let me do that to Capitol Police right now. And I'll be on the hand.
So if we all rolled up in our car and we all smoking.
But it just shows that, again, thank goodness is for something like this, but it's also the honest side of it is that, you know, when you start getting into affairs of things like this and not knowing the whole situation, just because you're in DC, that don't mean you know everything that goes on. You start opening, again, messing with things that's going on, and then now you can start corrupting things to make things worse when you're actually trying to do better.
You know, this reminds me of in in Texas, where they actually voted to have reparations for black people for slavery, you know, and they didn't realize that they had done that. Like, these people, you know, in the effort to do all of these things, end up having the negative effect. And it's just, to me, it's kind of funny because, yeah, I think we should get reparations, and yeah, I think marijuana should be legal. You know what I mean? So and it's, you know, it's funny, it's in both cases it's the Republicans that are doing it. I'm not taking a shot at them, you know, because, you know, the blue people just as dumb as they are sometimes. We just happen to be talking about the dumb reddies, the dumb red people. You know, the Bloods is acting up this time, but get the Crips some time and they'll do something, and they'll be next. That's why. What you think about the story?
I think it's hilarious. You know, if I smoked, I'd be having a smoke fest in DC, and you know. I don't know. It's stupid.
Now, would they let all the people in jail out? That's in jail.
So no.
Well, what about in the Florida law that is been amended to allow? It will change the stand your ground law to allow you to warn a shot. They're not letting Marissa Alexander off the hook. Mm-hmm. So it is what it is.
No,
I mean, you don't get to post. Offense benefit, when the law has changed. If you do the crime, you got to do the crime. So, do the crime, you got to do the time.
I wonder how many people in DC know this.
A lot.
That's the smokers.
I bet you a lot. I could bet you a lot by fast, because that information and the story has been in that paper that goes in front of the metros.
Because I think just for crap's sake. Because you can't do anything about it.
That's just crazy.
Let's just all go out.
But just think about the reason. Like, it's been decriminalized, but they didn't fund it. So, it may, they legalize it by virtue of them not being able to cite you. But technically it's not. Mm-hmm. It's a technicality. So, yeah, while it's still illegal to walk down the street with a joint in your hand, they can't do nothing to you because they don't fund it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just the idiocracy of this is.
Let's just go smoke a joint.
You go smoke a joint.
DC.
And I bet you a bunch of senators, everybody in Congress, is just out.
Well, the real deal, the serious side of this though is, I've been saying for years that marijuana should be legalized. Mm-hmm. And when you see the whole war on drugs kind of thing, I mean, we're talking about real drugs, crack and cocaine and heroin, all that kind of stuff, pills. I just don't think that marijuana is in that kind of mold. But the people who make the laws think that it is, and that's the key. And these are the same people that's going to take your 15-year-old boy who's standing on the corner of Ocean Avenue and Grant Avenue right now in Jersey City selling a dime bag. They will put him in jail, but in 5 years from now, when marijuana is legal in the state of New Jersey and across our union, because these government officials and these billionaires have figured out how to make money from it and pay down their debts and boost up their pockets. You know, the same people who are signing these bills to put these boys in prison to criminalize them, just like we talked about the child support guy earlier. What's up with them? It's crazy. Ain't no ass Steppin Marcus. All right, let's talk about a dumbass stalker. Because, you know, this is the dumbass segment.
These are dumbasses.
This is dumbass stalker. I'm getting this one from the dumb asses. Give it. Can I get it in British? Say.
Ooh, that might be difficult.
Say. Give it to me. Give it to me in British.
Dumbass.
Oh,
that's a little difficult.
You said dumbass.
Dumbasses.
Dumbasses. Yeah.
I don't know. That's a little difficult.
Well, there you go. Can you say it in Brooklyn? I could say it in Brooklyn.
You just say dumbass.
Dumbass. Yeah.
Dumbass.
This chick. I'm getting this from the World News Daily Report.com. This chick right here, as I'm going to read the story. I just want y'all to see her face, her mugshot, right? She was arrested.
She looks like a dumbass.
Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Oh, that's
she's
where
a
woman.
From. She was a woman that was arrested by the Albuquerque Police Department in what could be known as the most extreme case of stalking ever recorded in the history of the country. The 28-year-old woman, Linda Murphy, allegedly not only called her ex-lover a formidable 77,639 times in a week, but she also sent him 1,937 emails, 41,229 text messages, 217 sung messages, and 647 letters, all in the same time frame. Song, as in, oh, me, song. Yes. She has a history of, see, I don't even want to say OCD because I'm OCD and I ain't crazy like this chick. Obsessive compulsive behavior is what it says here. Would have been badly taken. She took her breakup with William Ryans pretty badly. She had a relationship with William. She had a relationship with
no!
It's a Williams, they bring it out of you. They bring the crazy girls out. But get this, that's why. She was dating William for 3 weeks.
I'm sorry.
3 weeks.
I'm sorry.
3 weeks.
Something must have been good.
Three weeks.
I'm telling you.
She's accused to using up to 3 phones at once to call him 24 hours a day on his cell phone, home number, and work. She would have ingested large quantity of energy drinks and amphetamines to remain awake and would have gone sleepless for a week, calling her ex nonstop. Quote, my client is profoundly relieved that Ms. Murphy is finally behind bars, stated the plaintiff's attorney, J.D. James Kilroy. He hasn't been able to sleep, work, enjoy life in any way for more than a week. He was having a hard time thinking clearly and was nearing depression. It was about time that harassment ceased. Now all we want is for Ms. Murphy to get the medical help she needs, and for the law to keep her away from the client. The accused is expected to appear in court tomorrow in Albuquerque, and most experts presume the judge will order a psychological evaluation. You freaking think?
So
here's the thing, though, right?
Wouldn't she get that automatically into jail?
Hell no. Jail is punitive.
Some jails actually do.
Man, don't do that, man. We know that they gonna send her crazy people jail. She not gonna go to fix people jail. What's wrong with you? You know that.
So, do you think she's gonna call him on her one phone call?
Yo, how crazy! All right, Mr. LP. You know what?
First of all,
Mr. LP, come on, man. Like seriously, you think they gonna they
do?
Man.
I know for a fact a lot of jails. That's one of the things they do.
How you know for a fact? You been in one?
Yes.
Oh my.
Cool.
And worked in there.
Oh, okay. You working? Okay. You on the right side of the ball?
I've been on both sides.
Oh, damn. That's like the wrong admission to make on the air.
I need to do background checks before I walk with these people.
Yeah, man. I ain't going on Family Feud with you now. You messed up. But seriously, maybe I'm just like a mean guy. I got people that tell me that I'm mean, and I guess I am because I am not going to have my attorney going, we just want her to get the medical attention that she. Screw that, man. I want her to go to jail.
They don't want William to be made out to be a bad guy. That's what they're being so nice and
hell no. There is no way that William is a bad guy here.
She's gonna call William on her first phone call, and then when she gets her calls when she's in prison, when she can make a call, she's calling William.
Well, also at the same time, I want to know which.
Baby, that's not you she's calling, is it? I mean, let's get this out on the table right now.
No, you also
You hear that, Will? She talking to you, bruh.
You know exactly what happened. He probably picked her up somewhere. There was something going on for a couple of days here and there. That's some extracurricular activity, and he realized I don't need to be with this chick, or he just was looking for one thing.
No, she fell in love with him on the first week. During the first week,
because of something
and
else.
That is the scary part of it. You know, he realized that she's off her rocker. I bet you it wasn't even freaking 3 weeks.
I mean, you know, I'll be honest with you, man. I don't, you know,
she got blinded.
I don't know that. You know, you say a sexual. I mean, you say, you know, extracurriculars. I mean, I think a fair assumption is you're alluding to sexual activity. I don't know that Nookie can do that. Like, you gotta already be crazy.
She's crazy already.
Yeah, you already.
But she didn't. He didn't know that going in.
Well, he didn't. Of course, don't nobody go out with somebody they know is crazy on purpose. You find that out after.
Exactly. And
can I hit him with this mic?
Let me make sure it's turned off. so you don't hear this.
Yeah, you know, big thump.
Hey, you don't have to start with
Or
back
echo.
Hey, look, man. Those just by those sheer numbers, that's just crazy. All right, ain't no ass Devin Marcus. All right, the last dumbass I want to talk about is he is probably the biggest dumbass we've ever profiled in the history of Legacy Internet Radio. Not just this show.
So he's a supercalifragilisticexpialidocious dumbass.
No, this ain't no rapper. He is the king of dumbasses. He is a colossal dumbass. He is the Superman of dumbasses.
He's Sir Dumbass.
Is this the guy with 27 kids in Tennessee?
Nah, man, I ain't talking about that.
This
is the dude. I'm getting this one from Minnesota at CBSLocal.com. And y'all know that I like to read. You know that I like to read the headlines before I get into the story, but I'm not gonna do that because that'd give away the fun part of his dumbassness. I'm just gonna read. Yeah, because the headline would just boom give it away. No, I want to read this and let the world hear this and flesh it out, kind of all dramatical. And actually, before I do that, Michelle K is saying that crazy lady we just talked about must be desperate or something. Move on. There are more men out there. You know, I catch some heat by
like a crazy man.
And we catch some heat saying crazy. And you know, mental illness. I don't want to make light of it because it is a real thing. You know, and some people have legitimate issues. You know, and so we acknowledge that, and we're talking about this in a humorous way. But the reality is, you know, your mental, and I said this before, like your issues don't get to affect my life. They just don't. You know, you don't get to call me 77,000 times in a week. You know what I'm saying? Like,
she should work for like a telemarketing
company. Come on, man. I mean,
those calls.
I know when I leave the station, when I'm here doing Legacy Internet Radio and I'm doing the full time, you know, I am just glad that some dude created the text message technology, so I ain't got to talk on the phone no more.
Let's hope nobody tells her we spoke about her, because if they give her our 804 number,
she might call. She might call us. All right, let me get into this story. I want Mr. LP on this one first. A Minnesota man is in jail because he logged on to Facebook. Police say 26-year-old Nicholas Wigg checked his profile from a home he had broken into and then didn't log off.
Oh, Father.
It happened on June 19th in South St. Paul. World's dumbest criminal, the homeowner James Wood said. I just don't know. Wood had come home to find his house ransacked. His credit cards, cash, and watch were all gone. In their place, the thief had left a pair of Nike tennis shoes, jeans, and a belt that were all wet. Wood said that it had been raining outside. I started to panic, he said, but then I noticed he had pulled up his Facebook profile. Wood posted to Facebook using Wigg's profile, saying Wigg had burglarized his home. He even shared his phone number to see if someone would call with information. Wigg texted him later that day. Quote, I replied, you left a few things at my house last night. How can I get them back to you, Wood said. Wigg, the dumbass criminal, agreed to meet with Wood later that night.
I'm getting him in trouble.
Wood believes Wig was under the impression he would give him back some of his clothes he had left at his home in exchange for a recycled cell phone Wig had stolen. Wood, at his friend's house, left for home. On his way back to the house, he saw and recognized Wig from his Facebook page. Walking on the street, he immediately called the police. And I never seen this before, Dakota County Attorney James Backstrom said. It's a pretty unusual case, might even make the late night television shows in terms of not being too bright. Wig was wearing Wood's watch when he found him. Police arrested him at the scene. He could face up to 10 years in prison and a $20,000 fine if convicted. All right, that's why I know we want to get in. I'm gonna let you get in. No. I want Mr. LP on this one first. Now, never mind. I ain't gonna say nothing. Now, Mr. LP, what you got?
I'm trying not to laugh.
We all have.
What you got, Mr. LP?
Okay, basically this is the deal. One, this man easily has a mental problem. Second, why in the world? This reminds me of the guy that fell asleep at the restaurant or the other place he burned, that he burglarized. These people just really got some problems, and to log on knowing that they're gonna get your fingerprints off the computer. They're going to see the timeline. You don't know whatever else is going on in other people's houses in that area. All these different things. And you're going to be dumb enough to reply and call back. Like, how easy. Even if you didn't show up. Bing, we got the tracking and the MAC number and everything else. We're going to help you out. Because say what you want, but Facebook is a good tool. Because the temptation and your vanity is going to get you in trouble.
That's why I'm going to need you to give me something on this one.
Marcus.
I need you to give me something. I need you to be the voice of reason on this one. Mr. Wig.
In his defense.
Please, defend this man.
His defense.
Defend him, please.
He's got a lot of things going on, a lot of issues. He does not know how to cope with the day-to-day problems that he's having. And he went out, he had a drink. He thought he was going into his house. It was raining. He changed his clothes. He went on his Facebook. He didn't know. He didn't understand. You gotta give him a break. He's got a mental illness, and he just can't cope. And in fact, it may be his alter ego who actually robbed the house, stole the watch, and logged on to Facebook. And came back to pick up his belongings. It wasn't really him. It was his alter ego.
All right, let me ask this. Since the last two questions, I said stupid criminals. I'm standing by stupid criminals. But mental illness has come up in both of these cases. So let's talk about that. Is there a case where we do not punish these people for their indiscretions while under the influence of mental illness? Are we giving them a pass? I know someone personally who had a mental break and killed a guy, not a bunch of people. He killed a guy on a train platform for no reason other than his brain malfunctioned and he snapped in that moment. And there was no indication of mental illness before or after. So does he get to go home because he had a momentary lapse?
He may not get to go home. He may get some. He may get some help.
Does he get help for the rest of his damn life?
He may be getting some help until
forever,
his dying day.
Yeah. Susan is checking in with us on this particular story. Susan says, "Can we talk about why he took time from robbing the house to check his Facebook? What was his status? Feeling like a criminal, robbing these fools, but first let me take a selfie." It's sad to say, but some people are dumb criminals.
He's a blue gangster.
That selfie song out there.
Joy says a dummy. Robin says Susan, she was wondering the same thing because people love these damn selfies.
We've got a Robin and a Susan on these new.
Yeah, I don't. I guess I'm hard when it comes to this stuff. I really am, because, while I am sympathetic to those folks who have mental illness, my sympathy begins to waver when your mental illness affects my life. I'm sorry if that's mean, if that's cold-blooded. So what? That's how I feel about this.
Okay, let me say this. Let's say you just got frustrated with work and life and everything else, and you decided to take a bat to my car, knowing that's all I have left. Okay.
Okay, so you got me for vandalism.
Okay, Mel, but you just really had a mental psychotic break, and you started swinging at me. I'll still feel, not just because I know you. I'll sit there and say, look, he had a messed up thing. Let him get checked out for 30 days, whatever. Let the man go home.
I want to say,
but that's a car, Steven. I didn't just hack up some dude with a knife on a platform. I didn't break into somebody's house. I didn't call a guy 77,000 times.
Go through his things. Go through his belongings.
I got you, and I get your analogy, but where you lose me is when your issues affect other people.
It's going to affect you. It's affecting you anyway.
How?
You're paying taxes for it to begin with.
That's indirectly.
Okay, so what's the movie?
It's indirectly, and to me, it's not the same.
What's
if
the
you think
movie?
it's the same, that's fair. But I don't think it's the same. That's why.
I think it's Michael Douglas. I could be wrong. I'm not sure what it is, and I believe I am wrong. But he had a bad day at work.
Falling down, 1993.
That is it.
Yes.
And he snapped.
Falling down.
He snapped.
Yes.
It happens.
Yeah.
Okay. We don't know.
Did you see the end of that movie?
I did, but I don't remember.
It didn't work out for Michael Douglas.
So I was right?
Yeah, it was Michael Douglas and Falling Down, 1993. The movie came out. But
so it happens. Trust me, I understand that when my mental illness messes up your space. I understand that because, hey, now, what happened to my safety? That's what I'm going to feel. What happened to my safety now? Somebody broke into my house. The crazy person did this or the crazy person did that. I understand all that. But yeah, they're going to get just plain help. Their punishment is just, you get a year maybe in Creedmoor. They monitor you. We give you some meds, and then somebody's got to take over maintaining you. Maybe. But, they're not going to go to jail.
But the punishment is also that the person's not going to come back if it's killing or money or anything of that nature. The thing about it is also once that person realizes what they have done, the emotional pain that they go through, because then that's another illness that they're going to have to.
Well, I actually wonder whether or not they actually realize and understand what they did and the effects of what they did.
Some people do, but maybe not at that moment.
I guess where we could maybe be disconnecting is I am sympathetic to mental illness. I know that depression is real. I've seen it. I know people who suffer from it. I know that, manic depression is real. We're not supposed to say that anymore. We're supposed to say bipolar. It's the same thing. I know that's real. I know people who have it. I've seen it. One of my favorite people in the world I saw 10 years ago completely snap. And this was someone that I looked up to and I still look up to. But I never knew that there was any kind of mental illness until that particular day. It happens. People have it and people deal with it and people live with it. But when your episode crosses your life into the lives of other people, that's when it ain't cool no more. And I understand that you have a problem, but why do I have to suffer because you have a problem? Why do I have to be okay, with you going to country club jail, getting therapy, for the rest of your life, and my loved one ain't here no more? You know what I mean? Why? Tell me why.
Two reasons. One, there's got to be a level of forgiveness within yourself.
No.
Because you know why? Because you won't be able to move on that person.
You can forgive and still want there to be punishment.
Okay, there's that. And I think in your case, you're not looking to forgive and you want the punishment. That's one aspect. And then two, why let that person be mixed up with who can be helped, who can be saved, versus the person that don't want the help, who know what they did and want to be wrong. Those are two different lines of distinction.
Well, they are. They're definitely two different lines of distinction. And let me address what you said as far as the forgiveness angle. Forgiveness comes comes from within you.
Correct.
So whether the person is charged and punished or not, you're going to make a choice whether you're going to forgive them or not. There's precedent for people who go to jail forever who don't get forgiveness for what they've done.
So that's a question you have to answer yourself. Do you have it within yourself to have a level of forgiveness?
For me, it's not even. You can forgive or you cannot forgive. That's for you inside your heart and your conversation with the great architect. That's between y'all. Well, my deal is the punishment. The punishment for the person who created the offense. Because I get that you have issues. And I get that you having issues cause you to do these things. But it's not okay with me that you get a slap on the wrist because you have issues.
But then at the same, but that's where the forgiveness and the understanding, because that they work hand in hand. Who do you know that's going to
understand, that, and I don't want to speak ill, so the analogy I was getting ready to say, I'll alter it.
It would be fair.
But I'm not going to use the analogy I was going to use. But who do you know thinks that it's okay? All right, we'll just use what I know you like. Let's talk about Batman for a second. Okay. And I'm not trying to be funny.
No, I understand.
But we, if you're a comic book person, even if you're not, you're going to get where I'm going with this. Batman's origin story.
Correct.
He was a child with his parents, and someone killed them in front of him. Now, let's say that person had mental illness. Do you think after having been caught that person gets to go to country club jail forever? Or do you want that person to be punished?
Because that jail would be enough punishment, knowing that you have to be monitored and controlled like that for the rest of your life. You still don't have a level of freedom that still could be hurt, because that's what. And the thing is, he has not forgiven the person.
No, we don't want to make it about Batman, but I made that analogy because I know you can get it.
But I'm just saying. But in this situation, that would be you.
Okay,
because
right.
He has not forgiven.
I'm Batman.
Okay, so you have not forgiven enough to let moved on, and that's what kept that rage. And now he wants everybody to be punished no matter what.
I can dig that, but it's just, and I know that my position on this is not popular, and that's fine. I'll live with that. And if someone wants to call me and talk about it, you can. 804-402-2893 is the number to dial. If you're listening to this on our replays on YouTube, feel free to comment on YouTube right there. And even though you may be listening to this particular segment, a long time from now, we'll certainly respond to your comment if it's respectful, as well as in social media. If you're listening to us live, you want to get on this one. I know I see y'all out there, and everybody's quiet right now, and that's cool. Y'all want to stay quiet, just listen. That's fine as well. But I just want to know. I mean, if y'all think I'm crazy, which most people think that I'm mean, I have no problem with that. Well, I actually do have a little bit of problem with it, but I'm used to it. And I know that there's certain positions that I take that are not popular. This is one of them. I'm all for helping you and helping you get through your issues, and whether they be mental or not. But once your mental issue crosses into screwing up my life, all bets are off as far as I'm concerned. That's just how I feel about it. Ain't no half Steppin Marcus J. We're gonna take another break, and when we come back, we got random, y'all. We're gonna ask some random questions. We're gonna ask some random questions, and we're gonna also talk about some racial profiling. So we got a lot to get into before the end of the show. It's Mr. LP, S.Y. Butler, the co-host, and yours truly, Marcus J. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J, the flagship show. LegacyInternetRadio.com, heard live on TuneIn, MixLR, as well as on the web on Legacy Internet Radio. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. Be back in a minute.